Welcome everyone to another edition of TMGeek only on TMG Trivia. We have a wonderful matchup for you here this evening on our way to the Run to the Championship tournament, which was just announced in our last video. If you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. It's in the special triple threat between Alec Miller, Alan Shepard, and my co-host to my right, AA Ron. How's it going, man?
Better. I've had time since I lost in order to come back and do a much easier thing than playing TM Geek, reading the questions for TM Geek.
Totally understandable there. All right, this is our not our penultimate match. We have 3 matches left, including this one. So we are
Triultimate or something.
Yeah. Triultimate, sure. We'll go with that. We do have 3 more matches to go, and then I will do a special show. Probably have Aaron join me. I know Ryan will be there, maybe Jacob. And what we'll do is we'll seed everybody. So we'll put together a special little show for that, and then we'll get the tournament started. So I'm really excited for that. But let's get down to brass tacks tonight. We have an awesome matchup, and I want to go ahead and get these guys introduced. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's start off with a competitor who was going to be playing somebody else, but she at the last minute had to have a change. She is the Empress herself, Andrea Malabag. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing great. I'm ready. I'm ready as I'll ever be. So let's see what happens. And I think my other opponent is ducking me.
Right. Ever since we started this league, the Geek League, Andrea was supposed to play Subrath, and she thinks that he's ducking her. That could be possible. We'll have to see after the tournament, or maybe even during the tournament. Maybe they'll run into each other during the tournament. That would be fate at its finest. So, all right. Thank you, Andrea. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Let's bring in her opponent, a new face to TMG Trivia. We've seen him over in MTFO, and we know he knows his geek stuff. He is Devonte, the Hellhound King. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good, man.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the match today?
I feel like I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be. I know Andrew's very knowledgeable, so this is going to be a very, very tough match for me, but I'm ready. So hopefully it goes my way today.
Awesome. Sounds good. And I love you're rocking the Wakanda Forever shirt.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Man. Yep. Rest in peace.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, let me give you guys a quick rundown of the rules, and we will get started with this TM Geek match. All right, round 1, I'll give you guys 15 questions. I didn't write 15 questions, so I don't know how that'd be possible. Let's start that over. I will give you guys 10 questions in random geek categories to both competitors. You have 15 seconds to write down your answer. When we call your name, please say your answer aloud when you reveal your response. All questions in this round are worth 1 point. A perfect round 10 for 10 triggers a 1-point bonus question. You will not lose any points, so write down whatever you can on your board before the 15 seconds is up. You do have 3 repeats and 1 challenge if you feel like a question is worded weirdly or the answer does not go with what you think it should. Please bring that up. We will be happy to look into it for you, and we'll go with that. So do you guys have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right, let's try to keep those hands on screen throughout the whole time. We won't be too big of sticklers about it, but just so it's been said. And to get us started, I will throw it over to Aaron, and he will read you question number 1.
Absolutely, guys. And to start off this match, we will start off in a good place that everyone loves, the MCU. What is the name of Jane's friend, played by Kat Dennings, which we are introduced to in Thor? And we started off with a universe that people love, but not necessarily a movie that everyone loves.
True. Except for the part where he says, "I'll have another."
Absolutely. We'll go to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll go ahead and start with Andrea.
Darcy.
And Devonte?
Darcy.
That is correct to keep this game tied going into question number 2.
All right, perfect. And question 2 is in the category of Middle Earth. Middle Earth. What is the name of the longsword used by Isildur to cut the One Ring from Sauron's hand before it is reforged and renamed?
And while the competitors are writing their answers, I'm having PTSD flashbacks with a category that screwed me not once but twice. And they're both finished, but we'll count anyways. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Thank you very much. And we'll start it off with Devonte
Narsil.
and Andrea.
Narsil.
Narsil is correct. So 2 points there. And we are tied. Here we go.
All right, we'll go ahead and move into question number 3 in the category of DC films. Who plays Sergeant/Commissioner James Gordon in the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy? And just what a set of films.
Oh, man. No kidding.
Just amazing. Every part of it, including the gentleman's name, which we will find out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and we'll start with Andrea.
Gary Oldman.
And Devonte?
Gary Oldman.
That is correct for another point for these two, starting off strong, 3-3.
Absolutely. They are on fire to start. All right. Moving on to question 4 in the category of Star Wars. What Star Wars character says, "In my experience, there's no such thing as luck"?
These are my favorite type of questions, Kevin. Questions that should be in a category, but instead become a quotes question.
Right.
Competitors writing down their Star Wars guesses in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, boards up. And we'll start this time with Devonte.
I'm not sure, but I think Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And Andrea.
Han Solo.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is correct.
Oh,
Devonte with a pull
Wow.
there. And episode 4. Episode 4.
Oh, yeah.
Devonte being the first of our two competitors to draw blood, but the game is far from over, and we are at a 4-3 score as we head into the 5th question, halfway through now round number 1. The category is mixed bag. What is the name of Indy's 10-year-old mischievous and cocky ward in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? Never thought to call him a ward, but that does sound very correct.
Yeah. I literally sat there typing this question, like, what do I call him? Like,
I like it.
kid
brings
that follows him around? Right.
And we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll start with Andrea.
Short round.
And Devonte.
Short round.
Absolutely. The competitors keep it close as we move on to question number 6.
All right. Question 6 is in the category of scores and soundtracks. Scores and soundtracks. To what song does Stanley Ipkiss, while wearing Loki's mask, lead the Edge City Police in a song and dance routine in The Mask? Hitting them with a double dose of mixed bag questions in round one. That's kind of mean, actually.
Maybe a little bit of cyberbullying happening here, but the
Right.
the competitors are still going to give their best guess.
And we'll give them 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, boards up, and we'll start this time with Devonte
I don't know. I don't even think this is a song. Just Want to Dance.
and Andrea.
I got nothing.
All right, the answer was Cuban Pete. Cuban Pete.
Okay.
All right.
Cuban Pete is the name of the answer and also the name of a gangster who would probably shoot both of these people. All right, but the question will lead to no perfect rounds. However, Devonte does still have a 1-point lead as we move on to question number 7. And I promise we'll be a bit nicer than with the last one. The category is Star Trek. And your question is, who does Zoe Saldana play in the new Star Trek Kelvin series? See, I told you we'd be nicer.
Super talented Zoe Saldana is.
Absolutely. I mean, when you think about it, she's been in the last 10 years a part of what was the highest grossing film and 2 of the biggest grossing franchises. It's impressive.
Absolutely.
And we will get one of her characters' names in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Andrea, we'll start with you.
Nyota Uhura.
All right. And Devonte.
Uhura.
All right. And that is correct for both competitors. As we move on.
Moving on to question number 8 in round 1. That is in the category of the Wizarding World. In Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, at what sort of place does Jacob Kowalski work prior to trying to get the loan from the bank?
I like this movie. It's solid.
Me too. I feel like I'm gonna get like reamed every time I say that, but
It's solid.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, and we'll start Devonte
A canning factory.
and Andrea.
Canning Factory.
Canning factory is correct. Great job, guys.
Both competitors still doing a great job. As we reach question 9, the score is 7-6. And I will end this category, this round, as close as I started it. Your category is Marvel. What year did The Amazing Spider-Man swing into theaters? I like what the question writers did there. Swing, because he swings.
I do what I can.
All right, and we'll go ahead and give the competitors a count. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll go ahead and start with Andrea.
I said 2004.
And Devonte.
2012.
And Devonte will draw blood again and take a 2-point lead. 2012 is the correct answer.
Indeed. And we move to our final question in round 1. And as always, it is in the category of plot summary. Plot summary. I'll give you the plot summary of an IG or geek movie, and you give me the movie. A wisecracking mercenary gets experimented on and becomes immortal but ugly and sets out to track down the man who ruined his looks.
If you didn't tell me that this was a superhero film, I would assume that it's a rom-com.
When I reread it, I was like, I always try to think of other movies that it could be, and I'm like, that would be funny if that was X, Y, or Z. All right, let's get answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. We'll start with Devonte
Deadpool.
and Andrea.
Deadpool.
All right, and they close it out with a clean sweep on that question. All right, so at the end of round 1, Devonte with a slim 2-point lead. Devonte only missing a perfect round 1 by 1 point, so he's up 9-7. Devonte, I'll read you off your round 2 categories, and you can let me know if you would like to spin first or if you would like to defer to Andrea. All right, your categories for tonight are as follows. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is Devonte's strength. Middle Earth, which is Andrea's strength. Star Wars, quotes, Star Trek, Marvel, DCEU, MCU, and of course, spinners and opponent's choice.
I'll defer to Andrea.
Okay, he's going to defer to Andrea for her first spin here. And Andrea, your spin, you want to bring me up big? There you go.
There we go.
I have primed the wheel there for you, Andrea, and your first spin is in.
Using her force from our Star Wars tourney to spin that wheel.
That's right. All right, DCEU comes up first.
That's an okay category, but I think I can do better with the wheel, so I'll spin again.
All right, she's going to risk it. So here we go. Whatever this lands on, you will be forced to keep.
A reel tonight sponsored by the amazing pun written above it.
Right. Oh, right on the wheel. Right on the
And
line.
it decides MCU.
MCU. All right. So
the wheel rode fate and did not give her his strength.
That's right. It was close. It was right on that line. All right. So I will give Andrea 5 questions in the realm of MCU. And Devonte, be ready for the steal if necessary. Don't forget, Andrea, you do have the option to go to multiple choice for 1 point. And you do have all 3 of your repeats. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your first question in the world of MCU. Who directed Doctor Strange?
Multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, Peyton Reed, B, Joe Johnston, C, Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, or D, Scott Derrickson?
I'm going to go with A. Peyton Reed.
Peyton Reed is incorrect. So I'll give Devonte, who directed Doctor Strange? Is it A, Peyton Reed, B, Joe Johnston, C, Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, or D, Scott Derrickson?
It's D, Scott Derrickson.
Scott Derrickson is correct for 1 point.
Devonte pulling the big steal right off the bat to etch that lead out just a little further.
That's right. All right. So, Andrew, you're going to try to make some comeback here. Make a little comeback here. All right. Your second question, Andrea, in MCU. How many code phrases are used to activate the Winter Soldier in Captain America Civil War?
Seven.
That is incorrect. Devonte for the steal. How many code phrases are used to activate the Winter Soldier in Captain America Civil War?
I'm going to go 9.
Very close. 10. 10 is what we were looking for there. 10. Yep. All right. So nothing lost there, Andrea. Still a 3-point game. And your third question in MCU. Who plays Volstagg in the Thor trilogy?
Multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, Ray Stevenson, B, Josh Lucas, C, Dominic West, or D, Clancy Brown?
Ray Stevenson.
Ray Stevenson is correct for 1 point. Andrew getting that point back. All right, and your penultimate question in MCU. While waiting to meet the Collector on Nowhere, what song from the Walkmen is Peter and later Gamora listening to?
Multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, Spirit in the Sky, B, Fooled Around and Fell in Love, C, Moon Age Daydream, or D, Go All the Way?
C. Niche DG.
That is incorrect. So Devonte, while waiting to meet the Collector on Nowhere, what song from the Walkman is Peter and later Gamora listening to? Is it A, Spirit in the Sky, B, Fooled Around and Fell in Love, C, Moon Age Daydream, or D, Go All the Way?
B.
B, Fooled Around and Fell in Love is correct for 1 point.
And Andrea, with one question left, can pull within 1 point of Devonte should she get the 2-pointer here.
Correct. Your final question, Andrea, in MCU. In Captain Marvel, what type of being is Goose?
I know this, I just forgot. Multiple choice.
All right, multiple choice. Is it A, Kree, B, Flurkin, C, Skrull, or D, Human?
Working. Final answer.
Flurkin is correct for 1 point. So Andrea pulls up a little closer there. All right, so that brings us to where we were at the end of round 1. 2-point game. It's 11-9 Devonte, and Devonte's spin is up. So here we go, sir. And your first spin is in.
And once again, should he not want this, he will get one more opportunity as it circles.
Except in that
for that
scenario, right? All right, Andrea, shall I read the options one more time for you?
Yes, please.
All right. Tonight we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Middle Earth, Star Wars, Quotes, Star Trek, Marvel, DCEU, and if you wanted to, for whatever reason, Spinner's Choice.
Quotes.
Quotes. All right, quotes it is. And I will let Aaron take those for Devonte.
All right, Devonte, you have a 2-point lead as of now. We will see how the quotes round goes for you. You will have 5 questions. And remember, you have all 3 of your repeats as well as multiple choice.
Okay.
Your first question in the category of quotes. What DC character says, because some men aren't looking for anything logical like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Alfred.
And that is going to be correct for a strong start to the quotes round. He goes up by 2 points. And your second question. Which Star Trek character says the line, "What are you standing around for? Don't you know a jailbreak when you see one"?
Multiple choice.
Absolutely. And your 4 options are A, Hikaru Sulu, B, Pavel Chekhov, C, James Kirk, or D, Montgomery Scott.
Chekhov?
And that is going to be incorrect. So that will give Andrea a chance at the 1 point steal. Your question is, which Star Trek character says the line, "What are you standing around for? Don't you know a jailbreak when you see one"? And your options are A, Hikaru Sulu, B, Pavel Chekhov, C, James Kirk, or D, Montgomery Scott.
Montgomery Scott.
And that is going to be correct to pull Andrea back within 3 points of Devonte, 10-13. And your third question, in quotes. 40,000 years of evolution and we barely tap the vastness of human potential is said in what Marvel movie?
Multiple choice.
A, X-Men Days of Future Past, B, Spider-Man, C, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or D, X-Men.
No, I'm probably going to pick the wrong one. X-Men?
And that is incorrect. So we'll go ahead to Andrea again for the 1 point steal. Your question is, 40,000 years of evolution and we barely tap the vastness of human potential is said in what Marvel movie? And your options are A, X-Men Days of Future Past, B, Spider-Man, C, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or D, X-Men.
X-Men Days of Future Past.
And this will be a question of nothing lost, nothing gained. The answer was Spider-Man.
Absolutely. And just to break in there with that Montgomery Scott question, with Andrea getting that point, we have guaranteed ourselves a round 3. So that is
absolutely. Round 3 is guaranteed. And these last 2 questions are for either competitor to try and put themselves ahead even further. Devonte, we will go to question number 4 for you. Your question is, which Middle-earth character says the line, "One day it'll grow and every time I look at it, I'll remember. Remember everything that happened, the good, the bad, and how lucky I am that I made it home"?
Bilbo Baggins.
That is correct for 2 points to push him into a 5-point lead with 1 more question to go in round number 2. 15-10 as we get to the final question. Who says the line, "Wise men say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for a late pizza dude" in the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle film?
Michelangelo.
And that is correct for 2 more points as Devonte will take a 7-point lead going into round 3, making the best, both competitors making the best out of categories they clearly did not prefer. And we see 10-17 being our score.
absolutely. like you said, taking advantage of some steals there, and taking advantage of categories that maybe they didn't necessarily want. But 17 to 10 is I've seen people come back from further down, so don't let that get to you, Andrea. All right, round 3 coming up. Round 3, the rules are as follows. It's pretty much like every other round 3 and Schmodown and other leagues around the fan leagues. Each competitor will pick 3 numbers between 1 and 12. Each competitor will get 3 questions that corresponds to those 3 numbers worth 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. No stealing or multiple choice in this round. Each of you have all 3 of your repeats and your challenge remaining. Any questions? All right, Devonte, since you're in the lead, we'll go ahead and get your 3 numbers first. 3 numbers between 1 and 12.
So 8, 4, and 2.
8, 4, and 2. And Andrea, 3 numbers between 1 and 12 that are not 8, 4, or 2.
1, 7, 11.
1, 7, and 11. All right. Sounds good. All right. So it goes as follows. Andrea, you will need to hit your 5 and your 3 or your 5 and your 2 to send it back over to Devonte. So we will start at your 2 and we'll move our way from there. Your 2-pointer starts in category number 1, which corresponds to Star Wars. Star Wars. For 2 points, who plays General Enric Pride in Rise of Skywalker? Need an answer or repeat in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat.
Okay,
Repeat.
sure. All right, your 2-pointer in the category of Star Wars. Who plays General Enric Pride in The Rise of Skywalker? Need an answer or repeat in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No.
All right, the answer we're looking for is Richard E. Grant. Richard E. Grant. All right, no worries. You just need to hit your 3 and your 5. So let's move to your 3, which you selected number 7. And number 7 corresponds to heroes and villains. Heroes and villains.
Just for the people watching, so they know, should Andrea miss this question, it will be a TKO. You do still have 2 of your repeats left should you need them.
Absolutely. Thank you, Aaron. All right, Andrea. So category 7 corresponds with heroes and villains, and your 3-point question is as follows. And as Aaron said, you do have 2 repeats. In G.I. Joe Retaliation, what Cobra operative is portrayed by Ray Stevenson?
Firefly.
That is correct. Firefly is correct for 3 big points. And we are moving on. Great pull by Andrea there.
A great pull, and she puts herself now, should she hit the 5, she will push it back to Devonte with a 1-point lead.
And man, can I just say, is this match sponsored by Ray Stevenson or something? Like, come on.
Finding his way in.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. So it all comes down to this, Andrea. You selected number 11 for your 5-pointer, and that falls in the category of Marvel, non-MCU films. Marvel. All right. Your 5-pointer in Marvel, and you need to hit this to remain in the game. And you do have 2 repeats remaining. All right, here's your 5-pointer in the category of Marvel. In the opening credits of Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds is credited as what? Yeah, we'll need an answer, a repeat in 5, 4, 3, 2,
Repeat.
1. Okay. 1 repeat remaining after this one. Andrew, your 5-point question in Marvel non-MCU. In the opening credits of Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds is credited as what?
Could cut open this tension as she thinks and reaches for that answer.
1 repeat remaining, and we're going to need to either use that repeat or answer in 5, 4, 3, 2,
Yeah, I'm
1.
gonna read it again. Repeat.
Okay. Her last repeat, and it comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. Your 5-pointer in Marvel, non-MCU. In the opening credits of Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds is credited as what? Gonna need an answer in 5, 4.
Work with the mouse.
And your winner by TKO, Devonte, the Hellhound King. The answer we were looking for is God's Perfect Idiot. God's Perfect Idiot.
Ooh, that's a
Never
tough
a
one.
truer name for Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds.
Right. Absolutely. A great job by both. Andrea, man, you kept me. Whew, I need a minute after that one. We'll let Devonte go to the back for just a minute, and we'll talk to Andrea first. Andrea, how are you feeling? I know that's got to be tough, but you stayed in it with that Firefly answer.
Great
how do you
answer, by
feel?
the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Great pull. How are you
Well,
feeling?
I'm doing okay. Marv MCU in the first round really sunk me. He did very well in those categories. I thought he was gonna have struggled a lot with quotes, and he didn't. So, yeah.
Yeah, that the MCU definitely hit you kind of hard, and then he got two steals out of that, and didn't leave you many steal opportunities with the quotes. So yeah, that's tough when you have a player like that, when you play a player like that. So how do you feel about the tournament coming up? You're basically the first person I've gotten to talk to about it. So yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
I'm gonna get ready for the tournament. That's for sure. I'm gonna study harder in those in the MCU, because that's the category that sunk me last time. And rest assured, I'm gonna be stronger than I was before.
Absolutely. Well, we can't wait to have you back, Andrea. You're always awesome, and we love having you on. So thank you, and we'll have you right back as soon as we talk to Devonte.
Great game.
All right, and our winner, Devonte, 17 big points. Didn't even need to answer any questions in round 3. Almost a perfect round 1. Got stuck with quotes and still put up 6 points. You're looking like a force to be reckoned with, my man.
Yeah, I mean, Andrea's nothing really hang her hat on. There was tough. She's had some tough questions and an MCU, and with that category, it's rough getting that. 'Cause it seems to be everyone's favorite category, so the questions keep getting tougher and tougher. So
That's right. Yeah.
And then quotes, I just got lucky that I just knew those quotes because quotes and scores and soundtracks are the 2 hardest I think in Geek, and so if you just have to basically just know those quotes. If you don't know them, then you kind of sunk. And I just today just happened to be one of those days where I just knew the quotes questions, so that was basically the difference in the game.
I kind of chuckled a little bit there that Turtles question was the last quote question. I actually wrote that quotes category a long time ago, so that's kind of funny that it came up, but no, it was one of those matches where everything kind of seemed to just go your way. But no, you definitely, like I said, anybody that's watching this for when the tournament comes around, I would definitely be afraid to see your name across from mine. So, how are you? What are your thoughts on the tournament? Any thoughts?
The tournament, I'm excited for it, but I mean, seems like there's a lot of top players right now, and so I'm gonna have to study a little bit more because I know 17 might not win you many of, especially if that topper level players. So I'm just happy today I had enough, but for sure gonna have to study some more because I missed a lot of questions. I felt like anyway that people would probably pick up. So
Absolutely. All right, well, we can bring Andrea back in and close this thing out. Aaron, your closing thoughts on the match?
Absolutely. A great game from both. I think today is a good example of how round 2 is really the biggest decider. Andrea got a round 2 category that was tough for her, and she still came out of it with 13 points after 7 in round 1 and pulling a great 3-pointer. And I think that says it shows that she definitely has the skill, just couldn't quite get there today. And then, Devonte, he can feel that he missed a lot of questions, but what I'll say is 17 points without even needing to touch round 3 is something that even some of the better competitors we've had compete have not necessarily had to do. I mean, to refer back to my match, our highest scoring player was 17 points, and that was after all of us took all 3 rounds and an
overtime.
Yeah. And so certainly a good achievement, certainly will get him a good seeding in the tournament. And I'm looking forward to both of these guys because, Devonte will be playing against the winners where he can show that he is up there with him. And Andrea will go into, the slightly bigger pot of people who have all had that we came close and lost thing. And she'll be able to show against one of those players that she also knows where it's at with this tournament.
That's right. And both of these guys are fighters. I know they'll do great in the tournament, and I foresee them, making a big run one way or another. So looking forward to having you. We will be in contact as far as the tournament goes. Guys, if you're watching this, I will, after we record these last couple matches, I'll have a live on Facebook and on StreamYard with a couple of people, and we'll do the seeding, the draws for the seeds for the tournament. So please tune into that, and tune into all of our TMG trivia matches, TMG singles, TMG teams, and Franchise Wars. We're just finishing up our Star Wars tournament right now. We're about to move into the Marvel tournament, so get excited for that. And TMGeek, I'm always excited for. So for my co-host Aaron, the Empress herself, Andrea Malabag, Devonte the Hellhound King, our winner for the evening, I have been your host of the most, Kevin the Philosopher Boss. Keep geeking out.